Good morning, guys. Thought I'd jump on for a minute here while I fed breakfast. Just trying to get a horsefly off of Rufus here. Everybody's looking good. I'm gonna go do some trout fishing tomorrow. What is today? Is today Thursday or Friday? Friday. Today's Friday. Oh yeah, it is Friday. Good. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go over to Bull Shoals. I don't know if anybody knows where that is in Arkansas, the White River. One of the best trout fishing, actually maybe the best trout fishing in the United States, believe it or not. It's also one of the most dangerous rivers in the United States because so many people have gotten hurt out there. Yeah, we're going to go below the dam down there, and I got Hagen convinced to go with me. So this morning, first thing, I wanted to let y'all know every day it's not just peaches and cream. This morning, I run the spindle on my boat. I've got a little bitty John boat, little one, 25 horse motor, but it's a real good one. Belonged to Amanda's dad, and I've kept it in really good shape. Anyways, somewhere along the line, somebody run a tire off or a wheel off and ruined the spindle. I didn't know it. Anyways, I've been trying to get an axle for it. Called a buddy, and he's like, I got a whole boat, trailer and all. Take $300 for it. I go over, look at it. The trailer's like brand new. The boat's really not in bad shape either. So I bought it. Amanda's like, what are you doing, dude? Anyways, so I get the other boat all lifted up, get the axle off underneath the bit, take it, drop it off at the machine shop to get it fixed. Listen, there's an ending to this thing. And I'm like, well, hell, I can take that boat off that I bought. It needs new decking, stuff like that. Anyways, I take it off. Hagen gets stung by, it had bumblebees in it. I look over at Hagen, it looks like ping pong balls bouncing off his head, but his hair's so thick and big, they can't sting him through his hair. So he's swatting at them, and it looks like they're just bouncing off his head. Anyways, I told the big boss to go live with our emus. Anyways, finally one of them gets him on the end of the finger, which hurts like a son of a bitch. I felt bad for him. This all happened a couple days ago. And of course, I was running. I know when flying things are swarming, you're better to run. So he hasn't learned that yet, but he'll get there. Anyways, this morning I go out there, take the boat off, get ready to put the other boat on. Red wasp got me right on the thigh. I mean, a good one. Well, then it stung me on the thigh while I was backing up. I don't know, it got on my pants or something. I was backing the trailer up, and my other boat was on the trailer without an axle underneath of it, just sitting on jack stands. I'm backing up, barely touch it. I mean, barely touch it with the other trailer. Knock it off the jack stands, it just falls over, boom, on the ground. And I'm like, well, what a morning. Let's go deal with Rufus some instead. So I got stung on the leg, knocked the other boat off the trailer. But ultimately, I think it's going to work better because now I think I can just winch it over to my other trailer. That's a shitty more. I'm going to look at my thigh. Whoo! You got to be careful with bee stings, guys. Let me tell you, I've been stung literally hundreds of times at a time. And my brother was just like me. And one day he got stung by a bee and the game changed. He about died. He turned as red. I looked at him 1 minute, he was fine 1 minute. He was as red as a strawberry. It was the craziest thing. He was just glowing red, and we had to run him to the hospital. And ever since then, when I get stung, I keep an eye on it for a little bit. I got stung a whole bunch about 2 years ago. I don't know, probably 30, 45 times. And it doesn't bother me. Like, it really, bee stings do not bother me. You know, they hurt for a minute, but then that goes away. But I seen something, sorry. that was. Timothy, thank you. England. Timothy, England. Are you from England or is that your last name? Hang on, I'm going to start reading comments now, guys. Sorry. If you ever had to spit tobacco, oh God, yeah, man. My dad would tear a cigarette apart, take the tobacco and spit on it, and then put it on your bee sting. And I'd be like, freaking barf, dude. I would rather deal with the sting, get this shit off me. Or, you know, the uncle that's got the big dip in, and he grabs it out of his lip and shoves it on your forehead, and you got spit dripping down your, yeah, I'm out. I'll die, thank you. You may tell you what the best thing, everybody's got their own opinion. Take it from a guy that's been stung a bajillion times. The best thing is take aspirins, put them in a little saucer, a couple drops of water, crush them with a spoon, make a paste out of it, a real thick paste, and you put that on there, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's over with in just a few seconds. Aspirin, out of everything I've ever tried, aspirins or Purex, you know, bleach, if it's on the finger or something, you can stick your finger down in. Yeah, James, I know. Don't get stung around any rednecks ever. Yes, aspirin. You get stung by a bee, crush an aspirin as fast as you can. Put a little bit of water on it and make a real thick paste, almost like sheetrock mud. And I don't know if it's the aspirin dries and absorbs it so quick, plus the aspirin kind of is a painkiller maybe. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you it works. I'm sorry I just made everybody puke over the tobacco. I don't know if a lot of people get stung by bees, but I do. And they like to hit you in the face or the forehead. They like to hit you in the throat, anywhere. Yep, onions will. Something about that aspirin, it dries. Like as soon as you put it on there, it's gonna be dry. It's gonna dry just within just a few seconds. So you gotta get a good paste and then just grab it and smash it on there. Hydraulic acid. I don't know, but this one that got me in the thigh got me. Bastard. The worst thing to get stung by, coming from somebody stung by everything dozens of times, my own opinion, which nobody gives a shit about, but I've been stung by lots of things. And the first on the list of what you don't want to get stung by is a ground hornet. It's a hornet nest in the ground. Now we can talk about African killer jackets or some stupid shit like that, but in Arkansas, ground hornet is the worst. I don't know if they're different than the ones that live in a hornet nest in a tree, but whoops. You should do the clean shave trick. I'm not gonna shave. I might trim my beard off, but I'm gonna leave a shadow. It's just I'm gonna grow the beard back if I do trim it off, but there's about a 1/4 inch long area there. When it has to grow through that, you want to rip your jawbones off. It itches so bad, and I'm gonna stay on the outside of that. Sensitivity, yeah. No, you're correct. There's guys that get stung. Yeah, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, and probably other people have too. But eventually, you're gonna get stung one day, and your immune system's gonna change a little bit, and you're gonna have some problems. You know, Amanda got stung for the first time the other day in her life, ever, which I found astonishing. I still can't believe that. I said, you can't be serious. And she's like, yeah, I've never been stung. I said, are you kidding me? Have you ever been bit by a snake? And she was like, no. I said, how? She goes, oh, I don't play in shit like you do, I guess, or something. I don't know, as a child. Okay. I've had cottonmouths hanging from my pant legs running. It's nothing like summertime in the creek bed. You were 55, first time stung. What are y'all doing with your lives? Do you know? Has anybody on here never been stung? Did we go through this the other day? Good morning. We're talking about getting stung by bees. The best bee, if you want to experience it, and now I'm not condoning this, but the best one's a honeybee. If you get stung by a bee, you get to a honeybee, just get the stinger off pretty quick because it just keeps jumping. But that one is the mildest of all bees. I've never been bitten by a snake. Oh man, I've been. I'm jumpy, man. I'm a jumpy person because of all this stuff, guys. Amanda's like, why are you so jumpy? I said, well, never jump in a pond when actively being stung. Let me tell you something about bumblebees. They will not stop. Like they won't. The bumblebees can kill you. Like bumblebees are probably the most dangerous ones. If you're out here bush hogging and you get into a bumblebee's nest, man, it's bad news. Bad news, especially if it's a big nest. They'll chase you for longer than you can run. Sometimes I've seen a lot of farmers that were brush hogging. That's usually when you get into them. Bush hogging, whatever y'all want to call it. But I've seen a lot of older men that couldn't get away from them would actually pull forward far enough, shut off their equipment, and crawl up underneath their brush hog with everything off, of course, so that they could get away from them. You can't outrun them. Man, there wasn't much we didn't do as kids. We were super dangerous. I don't know how we lived. We were always just exploring. Me and my brother was talking about it yesterday, and like some of the places we went and how far we were from our house, like through the woods. And we found a house that was built into a cliff. Since we were kids, somebody else found it, and then they kind of made it a historical deal. But we used to play in this house in this cliff, and it had a bunch of dates, and we found a bunch of grave markers and stuff, and it was really cool. It was like a 3-story house built into the cave was like this, the mouth of it, and they'd built a wall from top to bottom like this, and then it was all rock, and there was like a few little squares where you could tell there was windows, and then there was some framing still inside here, and there was a giant fireplace that went up the front. It was cool, but we found it long before anybody else found it. It's called Mobley's or Mobley's Cave in Prairie Grove, Arkansas. Y'all can look it up. You can see it. I've got pictures of it before anybody ever even looked at it. They claim they knew about it a long time ago, but I'm gonna tell you right now, ain't nobody was there till we were there. Well, I mean, besides the previous whoever it was. I don't even know what that means, man. It's too big of words for me. That sweet bova. Yeah, she's getting a little springy now. What we're looking for is the there's two lines right here. They'll be real sunk in. And I'm not seeing it yet, but it's definitely softer. You can kind of see it right there. It'll kind of go at an angle like my finger right where my nail is. Right there. It'll be softer. And then that's when we'll be getting really close. I told Amanda, I said, I had mid-August in my brain. But now you could be 22 days off, but I'm gonna stick with mid-August still, even though from the looks of her, I would say we got less than 2 weeks, I'd say. It's so hard to tell on a heifer. You live in Maryland, it's smoky. It ain't smoky down here, it's just humidity. Ruth needs some love. She's trying to get away from her buddy because the mamas are all mean to her. I don't really know what vibe she's putting off to make them act like that towards her. But hers is a good girl. But she, the two older cows, Roxanne, don't be pulling feed bags out, man. The two older cows do not like her around them. I don't understand. I mean, they're not near as ornery as they used to be to her. Rufus, you got shit all over your horns, man. That stuff got bluer. Look at that. Amanda put stuff on his horns. I can't believe she did that. And she's got some. She's rubbed it off. She's a good girl. She's big. She's big now. She can hurt you now. These suckers right here. Rufus, don't step in the feed trough, man. Roxanne got a freaking feed bag drug out of there. I swear I'm gonna find her one of these days with her head stuck in a feed bag. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so we can see her. I think I got y'all zoomed here. No. Hey, Roo. What you doing, bub? Huh? Oh, God, here we go. It's different when he's up close to you. This is my view right here all the time. I'm not zoomed at all either. People see him on camera and then they see him in person and they're like, holy shit. I can rest my chin on this 2x6 right here. Somebody is going to be mean to you. How you doing, bubbers? You got flies on you, bub. I just sprayed you down with fly spray. See, he's like Redford. If y'all remember Redford, he wants me to keep me right at that shoulder right there. That's why it's so hard to stand in front of him and pet him. Because he wants to keep you lying squared up right there in the fighting zone. And again, he's like Redford. You see his eye? We back up, he'll start shifting. He's the same. Same guy. Good old Rufus. I bet he chases little men around trees. Man, he would. I told Amanda she needs to do a live with the emus. One of them, like I said, they were kind of the runts and they were kind of going to get rid of them. One of them deals. So we basically saved them. So the blonde one, it's 2 weeks younger than the other one, but it acts puny to me. But then sometimes it acts fine. So I can't tell if it's just young and it's resting more, um, or if it's got a little, but it's eating a lot. It's got a lot of poop, so it means it's eating a lot. Um, what time are we picking up the new bull? If I get another bull, it's definitely going to be, shit, it'll be a year from now. It'll be next summer. We won't need one until then. Rufus, you look pretty ding-dongy with that blue horn. Rhonda is definitely in season. Rufus is following her around everywhere with his head up her butt. Is there a breedable you wouldn't have? Yeah, I wouldn't have any of that. Those Mexican bulls, um, them little ones, some mean sumbitches, them bucking bulls. Those things are mean. Like they're dangerous mean. You can't turn them out in the field or nothing. Well, those, they don't even care about cows or anything. They just want to hurt everything. But it's, years of breeding bucking bulls that were the meanest ones and the orneriest ones to get that genetic, and then that's what you get. What's another one I wouldn't want? I probably wouldn't get a black Angus bull just because they're more of the more laid back meat breeders, Not a ton of personality with them. I've never been around a full-blood Brahmin. I don't know if they have the same personality as Rhonda, but I've always heard they were meaner. When I was a kid working cows with my dad, it was always like, if you seen any ear, everybody called it ear. So if you get those crosses and they got a big ear than normal, those were always, you had to watch out for. You had the Spanish bulls. You leaving? Who's leaving? I don't know, like, as good as demeanor as they have, I think it's, every breed has some crazy. No, he's a Hereford cross with Scimitar and a little bit of Holstein. He's 50% Hereford. What was that? Oh, a June bug. I would love to have a longhorn. I would have to find one. They're expensive. People have really started paying big money. They're not a real good high quality breed of cow for beef, which we're not really breeding for that at all. But people have gotten crazy over those things. No, we got 377 likes. Good morning, how are you? If I can get enough service down here, I'll go live with Hagen. I'll set my phone up in the boat, and y'all can take a look at it. It's beautiful. Y'all have to look it up if you're not familiar with the White River below Bull Shoals in Arkansas. It's a big, dangerous son of a bitch, though. It's the only thing. And why it's so dangerous is people like to use a drag chain You use a rope with a piece of chain on it to drag the bottom of the river to slow your boat down so you can fish. And there's lots of big boulders out in that river. And if it snags in between some boulders, it'll yank the front of your boat underneath the water, and it'll just scoop it up like within just a second. And then you're in the water, and the water is ice cold, no matter what time of year it is, and people panic. That's one of the few places I do not go out on a boat without a life jacket on. And if we ever use a drag chain, which we do some, there's always a knife laying right there, so you can cut your rope right if it snags or gets hung on something. But we know where to drag at and where not to drag at. But you never know when somebody's lost an anchor or something weird that you could get snagged in. Yeah, they're going to Universal or something in a week or so for Paisley before she goes back to school. Nobody came with me today. I just came over here to get a gas can, so I rebuilt the lawnmower yet again so they could mow today. They love mowing. Everybody's like, why aren't you mowing your yard? You're mowing at your house. Well, go fight those two girls over mowing. I'm not going to fight them over it. I weed eat, they mow. And they both fight over who's going to ride the mower. So, they love mowing. They're weird, okay? I think, I hope not. I graduated in 98. Do you have catfish? Oh, hell yeah. That pond right there is stocked full of catfish. I love mowing too. Yeah, man, mowing's fun. They like riding zero turnaround. But the problem is they hit stumps and rocks that are in my yard at about 90, 92 miles an hour, something like that. And they can't figure out why the deck belt jumps off. I said, you hit the deck so hard, it shoved it back hard enough to bring the belt off the rear pulley. I've never done it, ever. And I've hit shit hard. That's why I claim the speed is so high, because I've hit stuff hard. I'm talking like throw me off the mower. And somehow they are hitting things harder than that. So I was like, I'll keep fixing it. I don't bitch. I just fix it. There you go. We have an order. It's a 2-day shipping on belts. So I say get 2 at a time. We'll go through about 3 a summer. I love it that they like to mow. We're gonna buy a new mower when we get over here. They're pretty fired up about that, but they're both looking at this hillside right here, and they're like, we can't mow that. We're going to turn over. And I was like, no, you won't. You'll be fine. Older than dirt. That's what I say all the time. What do y'all think about the Blue Angels flying over with the news saying how dramatic, that terrifying the people were? If that jet had flown over and cut the end of my fishing rod off, I wouldn't have felt I would have felt so American. You know what I mean? Like, if it would have ripped my fishing pole out of the rod holder, I'd have been yelling to the top of my lungs, man. Oh my God, dream come true. No one was I know. I was like, man, if that thing had blown me down the beach and rolled me and wadded me up into a ball down there, I would have been screaming to the top of my lungs. I'd have had so much fun. I've been down there. I don't know who all's been to the Blue Angel shows, but they do that exact flyover at the base. They do the sneak over where the jets are in front of you, you're not paying attention, the one comes over top of your head and just rips through there. I will say that one was a little bit lower, and I've seen a lot of them, like 25 plus. Um, but the thrust off the engines when he banked back into that's what did it. But I've seen a good wind pick up on the beach and blow fucking umbrellas around. So give me a break. One time I turned around on the beach and my umbrella was gone. Gone. Out of sight. Couldn't find it. And I was the only one on the beach. I was like, all of a sudden everything started sounding different because it wasn't echoing the sound, kind of, you know. And I was like, what am I missing? I sat back down. I'm like, something's missing. My umbrella was gone. It was in the dunes way the hell back there where the turtle people go. And you don't fuck with the turtle people. There's signs on the beach that are like, if you touch anything back here, we're going to hunt you down and your dog and your family and everything if you touch any of the turtle habitat. So I'm like, I'm not going back there. You're not going to find my tracks going back there to get that umbrella. Turtle people don't mess around, man. Air Force Base of Summers. Air shows where it say, yeah. Man tossed by the bison. That sucked. He put up a good run, though. You got to admit, for an old guy, he was lapping that tree, man. Them limbs hung down too far. He couldn't get any penetration into that canopy. I would have dove in. You gotta remember that I was watching it. I was thinking he couldn't see around the edge of that tree. He was running without seeing the bison. We had a further back perspective, so we were able to see that sumbitch coming around that tree. He wasn't. But when he cut right, I was like, game over, dude. Game over. I was yelling serpentine, and man, did he go into the air. Son of a bitch. I think he's okay. I heard he broke his tailbone and something else, but whew. Buffalo got those horns that hook straight up, you know. Gut ya. But you know, a big bison, a big one, about 18 to 2,000 pounds. I don't know anything about them. So if somebody knows more about them than me, if you know anything about them, you know more about them than me. I was just looking up how much they weigh. They have those little bitty tiny back legs and they have no butt. Like they have no meat back there. So they can't weigh a lot because beef cows carry a lot of weight in the rump. Bison have no butt at all. They're all head, neck, and front shoulders. I bet if you took a 2,000-pound buffalo and you took Redford and gave Redford horns, I'd put my money on Redford all day. He's got the weight. Sorry, I'm trying to read, guys. Hell yeah, I've eaten a lot of buffalo meat. It's a lot of I compare it to eating like a bull, like a lean beef. I didn't really care for it as good as beef. I'm a fan of beef. All of Brent and take away up to 3,000. That'd be a monster, wouldn't it? I saw a little Asian guy buy one at an auction up in Missouri. He was my neighbor, and he had it in a stock trailer. This thing, I could just hear this thing just ripping and tearing inside there. And he bought it to butcher. His family bought it to butcher themselves, not to take to a butcher, but they were actually processing it. And they do not have much meat on them. Like, they are definitely not. I mean, now, meat, yes, they're huge animals. Yes, they have a lot of meat, but like Rufus, see that giant hind end? Theirs goes tapers like right here down, and then little bitty tiny little stick hind legs. I don't know. I'm sure they're mean son of a bitches. You're talking about the difference between like a dog and a wolf. You know what I mean? Like that, they're a wild animal. Man, my thigh is stinging like a sumbitch still. I keep feeling like that stinger still in there. Yeah, they're just crazy. You know, these guys give you a tiny little dose of the fight or flight when you get them confined and you're trying to work them. But buffalo, you know, they'll kill themselves. Like they don't care about nothing. It's just an all out thrashing, insane. What's up, northern Montana, northwest Montana? Man, anybody up in the Montana, anywhere up in there that's got some mule deer that they need somebody else to come help them hunt, let me know. I'm looking for a place to go hunt this fall, but I think I've already missed all the tags. But one of those states up there, you can buy them over the counter. So I'm seeing buffalo. Man, I worry about getting any of that exotic stuff. These birds I really had to look into the other night too, because I don't want to bring any kind of weird diseases in around my cows. Well, Matt, if you let me know. I had an uncle lived in Idaho for a long time. A lot of good mule deer up there. Yeah, everybody says that about ostriches, that they taste like beef. So I don't know if a lot of people on here right now remember back in the 90s, mid 90s, it was a huge, huge deal um, to raise ostrich. Everybody was going to get rich with ostriches. Everybody. So in the 90s, there was literally giant farms built all around northwest Arkansas that had ostrich farms. They were ostrich farms, hundreds of acres. And it was all rail fence like this, and there was ostriches everywhere, everywhere. Well, it didn't even go but like 3 or 4 years, and it just completely flopped. Um, yeah, beefalo are big, um, but it flopped so bad. You know, ostrich. I think they weigh close to 400 or 500 pounds or something, don't they? Um, but I know everybody was taking them out to the national forest, the government forest, and turning them loose. So you'd be out of the national forest, and a ostrich would be out there wandering around. So come the first deer season, the game and fish was like, we can't have these out here. Everybody that sees one needs to harvest them. And I'm like, man, I ain't shooting no damn ostrich out here. What are you doing? Anyways, I guess everybody went down there and wiped them out. Good morning from the South Maryland. We need a weekly. Yeah, me and Amanda don't want to drive people crazy with the emails. I really did enjoy giving the shirts away on TikTok and Facebook, and I was scared to try to do it on here because I don't know what the rule is for that, and I'm already in trouble. So after I get out of trouble, we'll do a giveaway on here too. So I've been doing some more research on this stuff, and that's kind of scary. But if you guys will go to rufusthebull.com and get on the email, then I will send out. I want to ask y'all's opinion. If, like, when Ruby goes into labor, I will send an email. What do y'all think about this? I'll send an email to everybody that's on that. Would that be Is that what people do? Or I don't know if that's what, because a lot of people don't get the reminders. Good morning, Nikki. What do y'all think about that? I just don't want to drive people crazy, but like bigger stuff, or like if I'm going to do like a live treat deal or something so that everybody gets a reminder, because I don't think people are getting the invites a lot of times. Or if you're doing something, you don't have your. Well, make sure, I think everybody on here for sure is already on there, but if you're not, go there and make sure you're on the email list. And I think if anybody wants to look at it, see if it, Nikki, does this say there should be a text? It can send you a text too. There's an option for a text. So if something is going on or I'm going live, I can send a text, or if we're having a baby, or, you know, just the bigger stuff, something crazy is going on. That's up to you guys. But Amanda told me to see if you guys wanted that or not. So I think you have to go, if somebody wants to look and make sure that option is available. We're new to all that stuff, but on our end, let's see, it shows it on our end. Yes, where the text part at. It should give you the option when you fill out the email. It should say text option. If it doesn't, we'll work on it again tonight. Okay. When you go to rufusthebull.com, that's where I have to send it from. You guys are how I work through my problems here. So we'll, if it's not there, it has your phone number. It has my phone number on it. Yeah, we're not going to wear it out. Like, just email subscription updates, no text option. Well, okay. You enter your phone number, Ross? I think it's on there, but I don't know if you have to access it through a laptop, through your phone. Yeah, they're all in a coma right now. Look at them. It does have the option on there, Ross, for a text. I'll make sure tonight. I just wanted to see if you guys wanted that or not. I think we only had about 10 yeses there. Okay, so we'll turn that option on, and then no, we're like, she's gonna calf, and I know everybody's gonna want to see that. And then some other stuff when it happens. I'm trying to figure out a way to let y'all know so more people get on the live and don't miss it, because I get lots of messages after live saying, "You son of a bitch." Okay, I'll get it turned next time we're on live. We'll make sure it's going to work. I didn't know anybody want to do it or not. I do a couple different ones, but I don't want a bunch of shit coming to my phone. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that. So I told Amanda, all the different things tell you to not send out a whole bunch of emails, but hell, if we get, like, I didn't even know we had tank tops. Hell, I'd like to have got the email. One thing that we learned the other day about me is I've never worn a tank top, ever. And I put a tank top on with Amanda and Paisley. and they were sitting there staring at me, and they thought it was the funniest thing they've ever seen in their entire life. Is that not weird? You can see somebody in a tank top and it's fine, but if you see somebody you've never seen wear a tank top, all of a sudden they're an asshole.
Oh, he's a big old baby dog. Oh.
He's trying to get his head over my face.
Oh, he's a big old baby.
He's acting weird. I don't like when he acts like that. Whenever he holds still for very long, something's about to break.
Okay, good boy. Good boy.
That's so weird. Thinking when he's holding still. He's thinking of how he would like to crush me down in there. Roxanne just threw the feed bag down in there. Roof, I'm gonna go work on my boat. I'm gonna go trout fishing tomorrow. So if you try to hold it all together around here, I would appreciate it. You see that nose? He doesn't like that nose to touch the ground. That's the tenderest spot on him. That's why whenever he fights, look how far he puts that nose back. See, that thing stays in the safety zone. That's why when they put that ring on there, it penetrates that. There's also one that just is two balls, and they go in both nostrils, and it clamps and locks. And you can put those on there, but Rufus, dude. Bulls love dirt. They love to mark in the dirt. They love dirt. It's kind of like a dog with a dead animal. They love to roll in it. I'm standing actually up about 3 foot above him. So there's a big drop off right there. But hell, he's still damn near eye level with me. The rings are so you can handle them. They get used to it. They won't typically, if you put the ring through their nose, kind of like just a nose ring, like on anything else, you can actually steer him and guide him where you want him to go. That's what everybody kept telling me to do. And I said, well, that would be really entertaining if Rufus just stood there all day long and we just stared at him. That would be sad. Well, in some situations where they have them and they're taking them from, like, I'm trying to think of a situation. So if they got a bunch of cows pinned up somewhere, they can lead the bull down from one pen to the next and then turn them in. They also use the bulls because they have a lot more muscle. So like oxen and shit like that to pull. So they put a ring in their nose and they actually tie ropes to it. So they have a rope on both sides that goes around them. And then you can make him stand in one spot all day with that ring in his nose, tie a rope to it. Or the other option is they go nuts and they rip their nose out. I don't know necessarily that it's, I mean, obviously it's got to hurt when they put it in there for sure. But a lot of other countries, a lot of your Wagyu beef will come from a haltered cow. They basically will tie a cow up like that right there, and they'll stand there with their head against the fence, and they don't really exercise. and they don't do anything, and they feed them really tons, and they just sit there and they don't burn any energy, so they convert everything to weight. And then if they're not exercising, they gain no muscle, so everything is just marbled in fat. It's like anything else. You know, when you buy a chicken at Walmart, you know how the thighs really and the drumsticks really are not like dark. The meat's not dark anymore. It's almost the same color as the breast meat, actually. If you're older and you've ever eaten a yard chicken, butchered your own chickens, their drumsticks are brown, dark brown. That's muscle. That means they have muscle. If you've ever eaten a wild turkey, even the breast is dark meat. There's no part of a wild turkey that's not, because they fly. They use the breast meat, the muscles, to actually fly. Turkeys can fly. I don't know if people know that or not, but they can fly for miles. Mule, yeah, oh yeah. I raise chicken tenders. Turkeys can fly. Yep, that's why wild turkeys are all dark meat. I raised chickens for a long time for Tyson's, and if the chickens didn't exercise at all, their drumsticks would be just pure white meat. Your service won't allow a mass email. Yeah, we will. Yes, it does. Yeah, we do. We try not. Everybody's busy, man. Everybody's got busy lives and shit. Even the lazy bastards don't want emails coming in about shit all the time. So, ask in the limit. Don't deep fry wild turkey. No, man. Wild turkey breast is like a drumstick on a regular turkey. Turkey grow a long time. Like, it takes a long time to grow out a turkey. Everybody's like, well, you know, all this different beef converts very quickly from feed to meat. That's why beef is one of the number one top food sources. Chicken converts extremely fast. That's why it's the other one. Um, Kenneth, I think I'm gonna put them in this. Once I pour my concrete in here, I'm gonna have another gate across here, and I'm gonna make that pin right back there, that whole corner, this whole area. It's a pretty good sized pin, just for the emus. And I'm gonna try to feed them beside the cows for a while and stuff, and not where they can all get together, but to where they can all smell each other and see each other. And yeah, everything converts. The whole trick is converting feed to meat. What converts feed to meat faster, grows faster, makes money faster, makes protein for human consumption faster. That's what it's all about. Squirrels are tasty. Sometimes. I afford the maintenance from you guys watching my videos, from doing lives like this and gaining watch hours on my channels. So these guys all get everything they got from me sitting out here doing lives and recording them and posting content, and then the commercials that they run and the ads that they run before you click on my video. That's how. So when you comment and when you watch the full length video, And when you don't click off the commercials, that's what makes the money. Everybody thinks it's you make all this just because you have millions of views, you make tons of money, but it's every platform, they do not give you like a there's no here's the craziest part about this doing all this stuff is there's no matrix to it. There's no schedule, there's no dollar amount, there's no price, there's no nothing. It's whatever the platform wants to pay you per thousand. So for every 1,000 views, I think I make 3 to 6 cents. Every 1,000 people that watch, 3 to 6 cents. On the shorts, it's even less than that. Now, on some of the longer content, that's where I make money. So whenever you're watching the longer content videos, watch it all the way through because it shows the further you watch it, the better it does for me, if that makes sense. That's why I've tried to put, it's really hard to do because it's all reality stuff here. It's not like I'm making the content, sitting here in front of a camera talking with animals, but it's hard to make something exciting happen at the first of the video and the end of the video. You know what I mean? So, but I think the voiceover deal I did last time helped a lot and kept people's attention. Do you know what the average click-through rate is? Like 0.3 seconds. So I have about 0.1 or something like that, or 1-2 second, a 0.1 or 0.2 seconds to grab your attention a little bit. But I'm learning the thumbnails really help. So I'm taking a piece of the content and actually making the thumbnail out of it. How does the shop compare? I'm not sure what that means, the shop. To a live camera. That's why I want to send everybody, because I know we have tons of people on here, I want to send everybody a reminder through an email like on Sundays or something, and I need to get more consistent. Listen, I'm preaching to the choir here, guys. I need to be more consistent for you guys, and that's how I do better. We're actually, I don't even know because YouTube doesn't give anything, but believe it or not, we're in the top 0.05%. We're in the top, I think it was 6,000 or 8,000 in YouTube, believe it or not, guys. We're in the top as far as views go. But the problem is we haven't crossed the threshold of enough subscribers yet to get the sponsor stuff going, because a lot of the companies are looking at subscriber count and then they go and look at, so we've snuck in to the top elite, believe it or not, somehow, which sounds really weird to me. And I told Amanda, I was like, this can't be right. So out of about 50 million pages that create content, we're somewhere in the 6,000 range. Pretty fucking solid. Right now we have 55 million views in the last 28 days. So we're averaging about 3 million views per day. Our chart has only been going up and up and up. You know, it grows, but these platforms want you to grow slow, and we have a really good channel with organic follower. We're not a one-hit wonder. We haven't had one video that took off and a whole bunch of kids followed it because of one thing. So they claim this is the best way to do it, is to grow, even though we're growing in the top 0.1% highest growth. I'm telling you guys, I could not do this without the grace of the Lord. Like, I've been blessed with, I'm not this smart, guys. Like, if now that I see what I've put together, I'm not smart enough to have done this. God was like, okay, let something else at old Brent here. Let me just let him fall into, like, look right here. Just look in front of us. We have Rufus, red, white, crooked horns, the most identifiable bull on the internet. We've got a jet black cow, Roxanne. We've got every color. We're building a barn. We're building corral. We're building a farm. We're building a house. We got old tiger stripe over there that's nuttier than a pet coon. He's nuttier than squirrel shit. That's what I tell him. But we got him over there. We got different colors. We got me that loves to run his mouth nonstop. So we put together the perfect combination for decent content. I'm a woman that loves his animals. So between all that, I'm not this smart. Okay. I looked in front of me not long ago and I went, how did I put this together? And then I went, oh, yeah, I didn't. I really didn't. God was looking out for me and said, hey, let me throw this at this guy and see how he handles this. You know what I mean? Sometimes there's a blessing in disguise, and sometimes there is, a test involved in that. So, I'll tell you a crazy story about my dad. My dad really didn't believe in God. My mom, we were Baptist, and we were raised Baptist. And makes my heart so happy to see how well treat your furry, feathered family from Michigan. I appreciate that, Cynthia. But my dad did not believe in God. My mom did. My dad didn't. And I'm not going to mention any names, but my dad's boss for years kept asking my dad, said, hey, you need to get right. And I'm talking, and this is the craziest part, guys. This is like, and I was so sick after my dad passed away that I would never see my dad again. It was the worst part about it. I was like, it just made me sick. But my dad's boss stopped by my house, and this was probably 2 months after. And they had called my dad, I asked my mom about this. They had called my dad pretty much every week for like 30 to 35 years. My dad worked for this man. And this is a very prosperous, whatever the word is there, great guy that didn't need to be, I can't even say that, like just had other stuff he could have been doing. But here he is calling my dad to see if my dad was ready, for 35 years. And he said about a year ago, he called him, and this was a year before my dad passed away, and he said, well, are you ready? He goes, I think I am. I think I am. And he came to my dad's house, which my dad smoked cigarettes in the house, and saved my dad. My dad was saved right there. And I had no idea. So he came by with his wife, him and his wife both. And I was thinking, after 35 years of calling somebody, and to finally have them say, I think I'm ready for that. Is that not crazy? Did he never give up on my dad because he knew he was a great person, but that ain't enough. So they stopped by there, they come by my house, and I just broke down in my yard because they were like, you're going to see your dad again. I said, what do you mean? I said, Dad didn't have any beliefs like that, but Dad never told me that. Neither did my mom. I told my mom, I was like, thanks a lot for never telling me that. But that man took the time, that man and his wife took the time out for 35 years to help my dad. Isn't that something? Isn't that something though? That's crazy to me. Maybe longer. Me and mom figured it up, and it was over 30. We just rounded it to 35 years, and I'm like, wow, pretty crazy. That is. It makes me wonder how many more people that man has done that for. Man and his wife. Tell me they own the car warranty place. Well, my dad worked for him for that long, so every week, they'd talk on Sunday afternoon to where they were going to work that next week. And on that same day, he called him. It wasn't just a call to say, "Are you ready?" But at the end of the call, he would always ask my dad. My dad run heavy equipment and that kind of stuff. I guarantee he did. I guarantee he did. I know. Good morning from Hot Springs. We're just sitting around in the barn shooting the bull. What is the goal for all these guys? Just to give them a great life. Maybe make a few people happy. Maybe make a few people see there's a big wide world out here that they can get out and see. And they're not trapped in whatever bad spot they're in. That somewhere out there's a Rufus in a field. Kind of where I'm going with that. I never thought I would be anybody's therapy, but I have had some very large grown men walk up to me and shake my hand and say that they're vets and been back and we're in depression and different things and we're battling things, and now I don't know anything about all that stuff, but I do know that they looked me dead in the eye and said, "Hey, you've helped me through some very low points in my life, and I probably wouldn't be here shaking your hand right now." And after that, I was like, "Okay, well, this is taking on a little different angle here on my life." So my pastor called. They called me in at the church, and I was like, "Oh man, I've got a bad mouth on me." And I thought this was really cool. They called me in and said, "Hey, Brent," and I was like, "Man, if you guys are going to try to get me to promote anything here or to throw me out, just let me know now, because I don't want to talk about it if you're trying to get me to sell anything for you or if you're trying to get me to push anything. But if I feel I can, I will." And they just brought me in to talk to me. They didn't do anything like that. And I said, "Well," they said, "What kind of battles are you fighting?" Well, I said, "Well, I'm really not fighting any battles per se, but I do have a pretty colorful vocabulary." And they're like, "Yeah, we see you on there. Yeah, we listen to you." And I was just waiting for it. And you know what they said? This is the craziest part. They said, "Well, you know, I'm up here in a suit and a tie, and I'm up here trying to get people's attention, and you reach a whole nother group of people that probably need to hear a little bit about this than we can ever. So do what you're doing. It's working." And I was like kind of blown away by that, because I was waiting for you need to straighten up, you need to get it together. Instead, they said, "You're reaching people that we can't reach." A lot of people come to church with me now. So, anyways, pretty neat. I was raised Baptist when I was a kid, but I went to Church of Christ. And if you've been Church of Christ, it's the elder men. It is nothing but right out of the book, like everything. There's no musical instruments. There's no nothing. So me and Paisley we've been watching this church being built. It's a big church. It's a big church. And we watched this thing be built all the way through. And Paisley's like, I'd like to go there. I said, well, let's go. Well, we did, and we love it. And they have musical instruments, and there's a lot of people in there, and nobody judges you anywhere in there. Not one single person. First time I've ever been to church in my life that's not. I don't even know what denomination it is, honestly. It's called the Brand New Church. The guy, his name's Shannon, is the pastor, and he's a great guy. He's here from Arkansas. And man, he keeps you focused the whole time. He doesn't stray out of anything. It's pretty neat. Was not what I expected. I walked in there and I was like, whew, was this a different deal for somebody that's been going to Church of Christ for their whole life? Yeah, no, it's not Catholic. It's I don't even know what you would. I don't know. Well, I don't know about making everybody's life better. We just try to entertain a little bit and just the real shit that goes on. That's it. Yeah, it's like a non-denominational. I don't even know. It's called the Brand New Church. Y'all can watch it online. It's pretty interesting. I think I'm gonna get a. We're doing. They're doing like the next month or so is over boats and different things. Yeah, non-denominational. Yeah, it's that's what it is non-denominational. But I'm trying to think of what that it's called. Um, anyways, as long as they're not trying to mislead, that's the thing. You know, you're supposed to watch out for anybody that's giving you an interpretation and not the actual words. Be leery. So you let me hear one thing that's not correct, and I'm pretty much out. But the guy talks like me, kind of. He's got a way better vocabulary. I mean, there's a lot of people go. There's lots of people there. But I like it just because you can go in there. Fuzzerson, don't change what you're doing, Brent. This channel makes me. I mean, I ain't changing nothing. I I do kind of, you know, evolve. I guess maybe. Yeah, I ain't changing nothing. This time of year right here, like the end of July and August, is the time of year to where it's like super hot and just shitty weather. Yeah, Church of Christ. Yeah, I mean, it's all Christian church, but yeah, you can watch it online on Sundays. It's worth watching. I'll be honest with you. If you, let me tell you something. If y'all watch it, go online and watch it this Sunday. If whoever's got time, and let me hear what your thoughts are on it next week. Go this Sunday when it comes on. It's called The Brand New Church. And I'd like for you all to listen to Shannon. He is funny. He keeps it entertaining. Thank you. Just watch it. Hell, I do when I don't. If I don't go, I've been going every Sunday. But if I don't go, like this Sunday, me and Hagen's gonna go trout fishing. I think. But I'll watch it. It'll have it. You can watch last Sundays right now. I'm not trying to push anybody to go to church. I'm just trying to show you what I go to and what I do. That's it. Do whatever you want to do as far as I'm concerned. Um, they do two services, one at 9:30 and one at 10:30. It's called the Brand New Church. Brand New Church. Farmington, Arkansas. Brand New Church. Check it out. The pastor of the church, believe it or not, they built a house when they built the church. He's from Arkansas. He's from Boone County. He's from back out in the boogers over there. But he, real good guy. He's worked his way all the way up to this. Yes, that's him. Check him out. See what you think. Don't make any judgments. I looked him up. Don't make any judgments till you watch it. Listen to him a little bit, then judge it. Or don't really judge it, but give it a look over. Yeah, Redford's been a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if there's a way to comment on their deal, but if you do, just say Rufus on there for me, please. Yes, that's right. Brand New Church, Farmington, Arkansas. That's right. If there's a place to comment, Rufus, do it for me. We had Willie Robertson there. Nobody in Japan cares what the Bible says. Well, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. What is one thing the Bible says to do? Be a fisher of men, right? So that's what I just did. Unknowns to myself, really, right? So, have you guys ever heard the story about about Phil Robertson and how he was saved? And now look how many people one person saved him. And then he has been saved, if not tens of thousands, millions. Phil Robertson, Duck Dynasty, the dad, their whole family, basically, because of that one man that saved him. See? What a crazy, that's crazy to think about. Amanda's probably going to go live with those things, I'm sure. Rufus is scratching his butt on this post over here. It is. Well, I'm trying to turn this into a preaching episode here, and I'm for sure not worthy to do that, but he's good at it. He is, and I don't know if you've ever heard the story behind how he got saved out of a bar down in he was actually in southern Arkansas, running a bar, believe it or not. He did pass away, yep. Yep, in a bar, Jennifer. The thing I always hated about going to church is walking in and just getting bombarded by the Bible thumpers. That's what I call them. And I hate that feeling of a fake smile, fake this, fake that, and all the gray hairs, the blue hairs that are judging. And yeah, I hate that. It's like everybody hates that feeling. And if you miss last Sunday and you go this Sunday, then everybody's talking bad about you. You know what I mean? And like, where were we at last Sunday? Well, none of your freaking business, dude. I'll tell you where you're going to be next Sunday. You're going to be in the hospital if you ask me that question again. So I don't know how we found this church, but I actually enjoy getting up to go to church on Sunday. Even if I'm tired and even if I'm like a brand new church every Sunday. Thanks, Nikki. Even if I'm tired and I like my eyes are about half swollen shut and I've been working the day before and I don't feel like going anywhere, like you can just walk in, go take a seat, listen to the word of God for a while and leave, and nobody judges you. Nobody is in your face. You're able to go park, walk in, leave, go grab you a McDonald's double burger, head to the house. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that sound nice? I didn't even know it existed, I'll be honest with you. Because I've been to a lot of different ones. It's not really preaching to you. I mean, it's preaching, but like, I like it. I love, I love when I feel like it's specifically aimed at me. Is that weird? I like when I feel like, hey, did they just follow me around for the past year? Because I feel like this whole thing is pointed at my forehead right now. I like that feeling. It makes it feel more normal and more, okay, this is something normal. I can work on this. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes sense to anybody else, like, I like that. That's when it starts pulling on you a little bit. Straighten up. I don't like going in and listening to somebody read something that I don't even understand the words that they're saying. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. And they're preaching relevant information, relevant to today. And God dang, Roxanne, you're chomping on his neck. Roxanne will keep the cleanest baby you've ever seen in your life. I'm like, if she had upper teeth, she would eat her calf. I mean, look at Rowdy. She's got him cornered in there. That's all Bible based. Yep. Trucker Pete. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I told Paisley, I said, when they start singing and the music starts playing and everybody's singing, I said, you know how you're standing here? I said, I'm watching you, and all of a sudden you start moving. I said, you start kind of wiggling a little bit. She goes, yeah. I said, did you know you're wiggling? She goes, no, not really. I said, it's because the Holy Spirit is making you wiggle. She just smiled at me. And now whenever she starts wiggling around, I see her look at me and she's like, it's a great feeling. I said, you can't help but wiggle. I said, you're still wiggling after the song's over. She's like, I know. I know it. You know, music is, yeah, that's, a lot of people don't understand that, but music is a whole, it's the whole thing wrapped up. Like it's 50-50 music and preaching. Do you think Riley will cook? Redford's no. Do I think he's going to try? Yep. And do I think it's going to be fun to watch him? Yep. And do I think one of them probably going to get hurt? It does touch your heart. Well, have you ever gone to? We have a lot of Southern churches down South Arkansas here, and a lot of all black churches. And I got some friends that are down there, and I've gone to church with them a few times. And man, I'll tell you what, it's at the end of church, you don't want to stop. Like it's so entertaining and fun and joyful and like just fills you up. You know, like you're when it's over, you're almost sad. It's like the end of a good movie or a good show or something. You know, and you go down there and let me tell you something, man. Somebody's gonna hug you, or somebody's gonna kiss you on the forehead, or somebody's gonna. People are singing. It's beautiful. I always I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Willie Franklin or not. He was an NFL player, giant black man, really good friends with the family, and he cracked me up. Big old boy. But man, he used to grab. He come up here to come to our church. Of course, he was the only black guy at our church. He come up preaching. We always like he come up once a year and preach. But it was funny because he grabbed some of these guys up here, you know, and he'd give them a big old kiss on the cheek. It was so funny. Instead of shaking hands at the door. And one time he came up there, and I knew it was coming. I'd been there, you know. And he'd always say, like, you can't say you either been kissed by a grown black man now, you know. And he just joked. He was the funniest. He was like the Jerry Clower. He just was all of it rolled into one, so it was hilarious. And he grabbed a hold of me. Well, he was so big, you couldn't get away from him. And I just kissed him right on the lips when he turned around there. Man, he didn't know what to think. And I said, now, you can't say you ain't never been kissed by a white boy. And he was dying laughing. He could one up that. Everybody in our church just froze. It was funny. Mess with me, dude. He's a good dude. I don't even know what he's doing nowadays. I haven't seen him in a couple of years now. Yeah. The church here in Farmington, the one we go to now, it has so much stuff for kids and the community children and stuff like that that they wouldn't get otherwise. Like a lot of them, I mean, they feed them. They have pizza parties. They have stuff for them all the time. And I'm not talking about a few. I'm talking about hundreds. The Christmas gifts they give, like it's great. This was a little bitty church that I went to, or Willie would come to. There wasn't but a few dozen people in there. We were all pretty much all family. Rufus, there's a horse fly by your foot. I sprayed his back, and now that freaking horsefly is down there on his leg. That wind's keeping them off there. Me too. I love it too. I know I need to get that stack of lumber out there. It's about to wear everybody out seeing it. I think let's see what we got going on here. Rhonda is not pregnant yet. Ruth is not pregnant yet. Ruby is pregnant and about to calf. And Rosie, I have no idea when she got bred or if she's even bred for sure. What you doing, bub? No, thank you. Yeah, you see how far that back leg kicked forward? That's one thing different about a cow than a horse. Is you can stand right here and they can hook you with that back foot and send you flying. I'm not pregnant, Mike. Okay, well, I'm with you, Mike. I've gained about 10 pounds. Rufus, I wish you would stick your head through there. God, that's why that horn's so short, dude. That is some packed dirt, too. Use that other horn. See, he does everything with that side. Well, we just got another week or two, and then we'll be. Well, I left the Pepsi can down there somewhere. Could y'all hear the dirt flying now? Oh man. This is marking. That's what he's doing. It's not itching. It's not scratching really. He's putting a scent on everything. They've got all kinds of glands. Like his from here all the way up to his back up here. I don't understand what it is, but that right there is what it would look like if he got you on the ground, and it would be so bad. It's actually terrifying. Has anybody ever been backed into by a car, like physically standing there and let a car back into you or hit you with a car? Because I know it's hard to explain on here, but when he hits you with his head, it has so much weight. It's not like getting bumped into, like, even by a big dog running by you or something. It's just solid. People are like, no, Brent, we've not been hit by a car. It's just so solid. That boy Ross, sell it. There's that freaking horsefly back. And here's another thing. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but watch his skin. You see a skin bounce? Watch it. See it shaking? They can move big, giant sections of their skin by itself. If I can hold this camera steady. So if a fly lands on him anywhere, he can shake about a 2 foot wide section of his skin. Pretty violent shake. Oh man, the Pepsi can. Yeah, he's 6 years old. Well, okay, Amanda left all those freaking treats down here, and now there's a pack of raccoons living in my barn, and there's a whole bunch of babies. And yeah. Let me get this bag, Ruben. Don't kick me. It's just a bag, dude. Listen, I don't know if I'm a wonderful person or not, but you're very welcome. Was it Terry Johnson? Very welcome. It's it's crazy to me how the human brain works because we spend more time on negative than we do on positive. So I've been trying to tell Amanda, you got 9 kajillion people commenting positive stuff. Stop reading the negative comments. I do not have any cats yet, but I'll get some. Is that Marissa? I can't see the name. Ride Rufus Brent Ross. Right now wouldn't be a good time. He doesn't act like he's chill right now. I don't know. Like, why do you think somebody comes to make a bad comment just to get blocked? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. Why? I know we're looking at all kinds of people. You got to remember that from every different angle of the earth. But sometimes you're just like, okay. I was like, hello, lazy bastard. I don't know why though, because they just get blocked. Amanda was looking at that one person last night and they had 60 comments that were negative. So if you comment on a video, I can look and see all the comments that you videoed on, or you commented on my page. I don't remember how to find it, but I guess you can. Leave it to a woman like Amanda to figure that out, but I just try to take it with a grain of salt because I'm terrible about sending them text message or something that sounds like I'm just really aggressive and an asshole. Everybody's pretty used to that I message though, but okay, Rufus is gonna pee. The emus they're only about the size of a chicken, guys. They're small. They're little. They're just hatched. They're only about, I'd say a couple pounds. I'm crazy. I'll find you, says Big Boss. You got a leper. Are you going to go live with the emus today or tomorrow, babe? Everybody's wanting to see the emus. Emus will get big and aggressive. Well, I'll tell you what. What would you rather fight, an emu or Rufus? I think we got big and aggressive right there, and there's another one over there. I'd rather take on a 150-pound chicken than Rufus any day. Emu. Hell yeah, me too. Rufus, I can hide behind a tree with Rufus. I'm gonna be honest with you. Did you see the guy up there with the buffalo? If you ever seen Rufus in wide open actual attack mode, one day he almost got me when I was behind a tree, and a big tree too, and I couldn't keep away from him. I was about to look like the guy up there at the park that got slung up in the air by the buffalo. believe it or not, if he wants to get you, he's as agile as a 3,000 pound greyhound dog. And I know you guys are going to call bullshit on that, but I'm going to tell you right now, if he wants to get you and you're behind a tree, and he really wants to get you, you're going to have a really hard time. You better be very, very cardio in shape because he'll put the time in. You know, his head's 4 foot long, so his head can reach around the tree. Once he gets you flipped away from the tree, it's over with, man. The thing I think a lot of people misconstrue with the bulls too is you assume at the rodeo run over somebody, and then the rodeo clowns come in and kind of get them away from them. But out here in the field, if a bull gets you down on the ground, he's gonna maul you. That's what happens. I don't know if people understand that or not, but they maul you to death. They will roll you and 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 crush you and roll you, and like you'll end up mashed into a brush pile somewhere. They don't quit. It's not like at the rodeo where they come in, hook you, and then run on. They keep mauling you. That's right. There's no rodeo clowns, and you're something that they've never got to play with, and it is not pretty. I seen a farmer one time have a heart attack in a field, and got down on the ground, and the bulls found him, and he had already passed away, but it was bad. Yep. Yeah, it's a bucking strap. It's just a rope around their flank is what makes them buck. Once they take that off of them, they'll quit kicking. It's made to they just feel something around them. Bulls are very sensitive. They can feel a fly land on their back, a little bitty fly. So when they put a strap around their waist, it fires them up. No, God no. Rodeo bulls, those things are taken care of. They're $1 million animals. They bulls love things to do. Like Redford, I would bet you money Redford would love going to a rodeo. A flank strap does not hurt them. All it is like taking, let's say, if you put a belt on with no pants on, pretty much right around your waist, kind of. It's not tight. No, it doesn't tie around their kahunas. No, it doesn't do any of that. All it is a flank strap. That's it. You could take a saddle with a rear strap that a horse has never had on them before, and it'll do the same thing. So you got to be careful if you ever saddle a horse and that horse has never had a rear strap put on it before, and some bitch you go nuts. No, they don't prod them and get them mad. Are you kidding me? No, no, they're not mad. Um, that strap, that that flank strap around them, they just want it off. They kick to get that strap off of them. Well, yeah, they're already an aggressive bull, highly aggressive. I'm gonna tell you right now, there is no animal cruelty in the bull, and I'm not just taking up for them. I don't know. I know a few guys that raise bucking bulls, and I know that they take a lot of pride in those animals, and they take care of them, and they're worth a lot of money. And um, yeah, no, 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 there's no room for animal cruelty in any of those sports. Like, no, I mean A lot of people think that. Go to the rodeo and sit above the bucking pens and watch them. You'll see the guys putting the riggings on the bulls, and you'll see how they do it and what they do and how the bull's treated the whole time. Um, the most aggressive thing you'll see them do is try to get the bull's head to where it's looking towards the chute, so it'll be looking out with its head up when it comes out, so it'll won't hurt itself coming out of the chute. And most of the times, the bulls know exactly what to do. They come out, buck, and go right back in, go back in, get fed, watered, and stand there. Their whole thing will last about maybe a minute from the time they go up the lanes, or maybe 10 minutes total. Yeah, that actually is funny to me too. Go watch them. You know, the carriage horses. Um, Horses love something to do. Some of those races, it just depends. Like, listen, there's bad people out there, no matter from daycare to freaking whatever it is. So I'm not going to say there's not animal cruelty in any part of anything. They're just bad people. Bareback is how it started. I don't know, man. I'd have whiplash for a month. I'm out. I'm too old. I'm getting too old for that stuff. See, there they all go. They stop grazing every shade tree. And Rhonda's first, and then Rufus is behind her. Who knows, man? What do you think your next animals will be? I have no idea. Whatever the good Lord brings to me, you just never friggin' know. Am I actively looking for an animal? No. Am I ever actively looking for an animal? No. Did they just find me? Yes. Well, you can't um, you can't mistreat animals. Not in the not in the grand scheme of things. Not and get away with it. I mean, not in the rodeo world for sure. Hippo, man, hippos are different deal. I think they kill a lot of people actually. But man, if I was a little further south, I would 1,000,000% have an alligator. It just gets too cold here. But I've always wanted an alligator. No, we can't have an alligator. I think hippos are just doing hippo stuff. They're just hippos doing hippo stuff. I don't really know how mean they are. They just don't want nobody messing with their shit. Only mosquitoes kill more than hippos. Yeah, hippos don't take no shit, man. I think we can all agree on that. Hippos don't take shit, and I don't know how they swim so fast, but they do. Yeah, it's like throwing a bunch of liquid shit into your ceiling fan when they poop underwater too. There's an aquarium up in Philly, and by my old corporate office, and they have hippos in there, and look like a 100 horse motor running a prop in poop. Uh, hey, if you think Rufus is going to fall on that pile of 2x6s versus out there in two different dozer piles, you're dumber than me. Please move that pile of 2x6s so Rufus don't fall. He's in a dozer pile right there. See that? It's trees laying down. He goes to a swamp and drinks frogs. If you're afraid Rufus is going to fall down, you're good. I can't move them anywhere. They're in the dry right there. I need them to finish up stuff in here when I get my floor done. Look at that. That going to drive you crazy? Oh yeah, that's my bag file. Oh yeah. That's the chair Amanda brought me, the most uncomfortable chair ever. The Ranger. There's my oil change for the tractor I need to do. There's my new front tire I bought. The raccoon goes through here and just wreaks havoc, man. All these cans were in the trash bag. All this was in a trash bag. The raccoons just got it. I'll wait till I get one thing full, but I need to get my floor done here so I can build me a nice little workbench over there, nice little stall for the horses or whatever, nice little thing there, nice little door, maybe a crapper over there. It just takes money. Where would I move the lumber to? Where would you put that lumber right there? Let's take, so if we were gonna move it, where would it go? Right. It's probably gonna go for a emu cage. We could put it in here and then move it again when they come to do the concrete. Or we could put it out there, let it get rained on and twist up into big giant knots and twist up into look like wet spaghetti noodles that re-hardened. Or we could, what happened is I'm not supposed to have that right there. They loaded me more than I was supposed to have got, and I just bought it and I was like, I'll use it somewhere. Yes, please, in the bar, move it twice. Let me tell you something about that load of lumber right there. I pulled up here, and I don't know if y'all can see how steep that is, but that whole pallet, one whole pallet of 2x6s slid off all the way down into there. That's them. So I had to get them all out of there onto the trailer. I brought them up here and loaded them again. I'm not fucking loading them again, I'm not moving them again, ever again. I may burn them right there before I move them again. You made that video? What's it? I'm telling you. I was so pissed off. That whole thing slid off. That's what the whole corral was built out of it. And that's what was left right there. Oh no, I know. I'm pissed at those boards, man, because first off, I wasn't supposed to have that many. Secondly, I didn't see the guy put them on my Lowe's card. They gave me a whole bundle. That's half the bundle. I didn't need that many. But rather than take them back, I was like, well, I need them because those are treated. I need them for when I put my concrete in to put my bottom plate around this whole building so I can get that in there, and then I can build a lot of my wall stuff out of treated lumber. So there's that. Well, guys, I think I'm going to, the boards look twisted. There's pieces in there. Some of them are, yeah. Yeah, if you move them again, they'll be all. Those boards there are from what I shimmed in the cows with. They don't come in here. You won't catch the cows in here ever unless I feed them in here. That's it. They won't be back. You work, Robert? Good for you. That's not very laziness of you. Nah, I hadn't seen their dog. Bye, Earth. Guys, I'm going to jump off here. I think the cows have disappeared. Everybody's chewed my ass about the lumber, which I appreciate. I do need to move it. I keep going through. If you guys ever buy land and you build stuff and you want to build a barn and a corral and stuff, don't try to do it too quick because you'll see better methods the longer you sit and look. Like better ways, and I've made a great corral here. It worked fantastic working. Ruth, I was just basically playing with it with her to see how it was going to work, and it worked great. I'm not even going to extend it. I was going to extend it down that hill further. The way it worked great. And like I was all fired up, just about ready to build my fence, and once I got my high line where I wanted it, and now my fence is going to change. Going to have to change. See, I almost screwed up putting my fence where I was going to put it. I was going to have a gate where my high line pole went. So you just never know. Had I built it before they put everything in and showed me where everything had to go, I would have had a gate right in that high line pole, and I wouldn't have been able to utilize it, and I'd have had all my posts set. And then me and Amanda, I left my door open. Me and Amanda was looking at this, and I'm going to take a dozer and I'm going to cut this bank off right here. And I'm going to cut it off way back there. And I'm going to take all this dirt, and I don't think y'all can tell how deep that is, but I'm going to fill that in right there, level all the way across here, and make it so I actually have a nice, like it's deep, about 16 foot deep. I'm going to fill that in, put another culvert in here, bring this road up across here, bring this across here all the way up, back up to there, and then actually have a nice yard instead of a drainage right there. But see, had I built my fence and done a lot of that stuff, I need to take that whole slab right there off and put it right there. No problem. That won't take half a day to do that. And then I'll have a nice straight shot here to build my fence. So then my fence will go, instead of going off this and then up and then across there, I'm gonna make a nice straight shot to here, a nice corner going up and around that way, and then over to the house. And then I can even put my emus in my yard. I'll have a nice good rail fence so they won't get hurt on barbed wire. I know that looks rough as a cob to you guys, but that's about 1,000,000 times better than it was. And then with that fence through there, we're gonna have access for Redford to go right in there. I will tell you one thing that I wish I would have realized, but Amanda picked the color of those gates. They're dark, and from up there looking down here, you can't see them. If it's low light, you can't see them freaking gates. And I'm like, is that some bitch open or shut? So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to paint a stripe on that outside post so I can see where it's at. And then fence here, fence up that side over to the house. Get a telescope. Yeah, I know, but when you glance down here, all this looks open. Doesn't even look like there's gates. It just looks like the rails there. Amanda didn't want it. She wanted that green so it didn't stick out. Get that green. Damn, that looks like some kind of crazy looking thunderstorm coming there. Nicholas Rufus has gone to the house for the evening. I don't get any service down there. We go down and look at him, and it's hotter than shit fire out here now. It was a good choice. It was the right colors, but sure makes those gates hard to see. So now she's looking at my gate I put in, that I wanted to be able to see from the front of the property that's bright red. And she's like, She goes, hey, let me ask you a question, Brent. I go, yes. And she goes, did you know that you have 4 different colored gates that you bought? And I went, I never thought about it. I said, I just went and got a 16-foot gate, a 14-foot gate, a 10-foot gate. And she's like, yeah, you got at least 4 different colored gates. See, I don't even think about stuff like that. And then she goes, and then you got these gray panels. I thought it was funny. When you put it that way, it looks kind of stupid, you know it? Wait, already got the gas can. I bought the deer corn, so now the deer can eat, even though they don't need any. And I got a new jug of fly spray. That's my boat axle I'm working on as we speak, actively. And there's my fishing poles. I asked Hagen not to throw that feed on top of, but I think he did anyways. Yeah, the raccoons probably will get it. Some things I do intentionally, just to help everything out. Yeah, biscuits and gravy will get some. I'm gonna set some cameras out. All the bucks go into bachelor groups this time of year, so I'm trying to get a look at my bucks for this coming season. See what kind of progress we made from last year on antler growth. Hopefully decent. Wait, what was that? Yeah, I got to put something on there. I can see it, something white, I think. Show me Rufus now, please. Right down there somewhere. See you guys. You guys have a great day. I'm trying to do as many lives as I can before I go trout fishing. You guys be good. Have a great weekend. Y'all be safe. I'll probably go live you this afternoon or in the morning too. And remember, if you want to be on that email list for notifications on bigger things happening, like the baby being born or whatever, we still got a few weeks on that, but go to rufusthebull.com and sign up for that. Stony Gen X, Ray Ripley. You did not have to do that. You just barely caught the live. We don't even have any cows on here. Rhea Ripley. Oh, yeah. You know what? We were talking about last night that if we have a girl, we don't know what to do. So if it's a girl, we're going to be in trouble and I'm going to have to buy another bull. We're going to have bull pens everywhere. This is going to go south quick. It's a dilemma. If it's a bull calf, we're going to make him a steer calf, unfortunately. I know that sucks, but it doesn't really suck as long as you do it when they're babies. It's almost like a circumcision for a human being. Like it's a really quick thing, but it sucks. Thank you. I'm going to try to go live from the Trout River. We'll see you guys. Stony Gen X, thank you again so much for that. I appreciate it. I really do. I wish I had some cows here to put on here for you.